Hey everybody, it's Alex, the founder and CEO at Motoroso.com, and in this video we're going to take a close-up look at the brand new Fab 4 Stubby Bumper that we just installed along with all these winch accessories on our brand new full-size Ford Bronco. And there are a ton of different options cropping up as far as designs and functionality in off-road aftermarket bumpers for this new Bronco. We even made a full video about all the options that we found at SEMA, and we'll put a link to that video in the description if you haven't seen it already, but new stuff is coming out all the time. This bumper wasn't even featured in that video, but when it got announced, we knew this was going to be a great fit for us. Now, if you want to buy any of the products that I talk about in this video, we'll put links to everything in the description. Those will take you over to Motoroso.com, where you can reach us on live chat, and we're always here to help toll-free at 833-MOTOROSO. Now, the Fab 4 Stubby Bumper is one of the first stubby bumpers introduced in the market. And that means that the edge of the bumper actually lines up with the quarter panel of the vehicle instead of with the fender flares. Now, I like that because that's going to allow us flexibility to do whatever we want with the fender flares and not worry about how the bumper is going to look with it. It also means that it gives maximum clearance for the tires. And we are going to be doing 37s on this as soon as we can finally get our hands on a lift kit. And that extra clearance is going to make sure we don't get any rub and we can get maximum articulation from the suspension. And thirdly, it means less materials, and that means less weight. The overall width of the bumper is 65.25 inches and it weighs 140 pounds. I also really like the price point of this bumper. Some bumpers can get really expensive, like well over $2,000 just for the bumper alone. And in this case, at the time of making this video, even with the pre-runner option, this bumper was just a little over $1,100. I think it's a great price point and a great value for all the features you're going to get. And Fab 4 is making this stuff out of top quality materials. All of their products are made right here in the United States of America with United States sourced steel, and it's 3/16 inch thick. I mean, that is thick, heavy duty steel, exactly what you would want in a product like this. Then they double powder coat it black with their ultra durable finish to make sure it doesn't show its wear too soon. Now, it's available with and without the pre-runner bar. At the time we're making this video, the pre-runner bar is just another extra $100, and it has this integrated D-ring mount for a shackle as well as the hook if you just want to throw your tow rope right over the hook. Of course, it also has a place for mounting a winch, and it can hold up to a 12,000-pound capacity winch, which is about the top end of what you're going to find on any aftermarket bumper. Now, if you don't want to put a winch there, it's got mounting positions for up to 4 5.5-inch round lights or one 20-inch double row LED bar. And of course, it's got these 2 spots for mounting 3x3 cubes, which we'll come back to in just a moment. Now, this bumper is compatible with the OEM skid plate. I bent my OEM skid plate up the first time I hit it on anything, so even though it is fairly tough, it bent up pretty quick and it showed its wear almost immediately, scratching very, very easily. So this bumper is also compatible with Fab 4's skid plate, which we highly recommend. It's made from the same 3/16 inch steel and 2-stage powder coated, so it's going to be much tougher, plus the nice angular design and the logo that's emblazoned in it is going to match this bumper much more nicely. Again, check the links in the description for current pricing on the bumpers and the skid plate. Now, since the installation before making this video, I've actually been out using this already, and because it is a winch bumper, it sticks out further in front of the vehicle than the modular bumper, meaning you may have a reduction in the overall angle of approach and clearance. I've taken this on trails where I've actually made contact with the trail with my modular bumper on the winglets and have not had any clearance issues whatsoever. And this thing isn't even lifted yet. So I have not found any reduction in the trails that I'm able to drive. And I have not been very shy. I got a big old dent in the hood and I've got my skid plates underneath all bashed up already. I've really been putting this thing through the paces. So I have not seen a reduction, but if you're hitting some of the hardest trails out there, that is one of the sacrifices you make with a winch bumper. Now let's talk about the winch that we chose for this application. Now, there are a number of different brands out there, and of course, Warn is the brand that everybody knows, but frankly, Warn are very expensive and they're very badly backordered during the supply chain issues that are going on in the world right now. And at SEMA this year, Superwinch introduced their new SX series winches, and these things are absolutely feature-packed for what they cost. This winch is well under $1,000. It's 12,000-pound winching capacity with a 6 horsepower motor. And that includes a synthetic rope, which helps make it more safe when you're actually winching in case there's a rope failure, plus saves a ton of weight to keep that weight off the front. It includes a wireless remote in addition to the standard wired plug-in remote, and it has a relocatable control box to give yourself more clearance or give it a more low-profile look. And that might be a good idea if you have the front camera. Now, I don't have the front camera, so I don't know how much interference this will all have, but that's going to be very important to you if you do have that front-facing camera. Now, just one note about the Superwinch SX12R with this Fab 4 stubby bumper. It is actually very, very tight tolerance to this pre-runner bar. It is actually making physical contact, which is not an issue for performance whatsoever, but if you watch our install video, you'll see it's a little bit of a snug fit, but it works just fine, and we're really happy with the final fit and finish. Now, of course, the Superwinch does come with an aluminum Fairlead that's 3/4 inches and a basic clevis hook, but because we saved so much money on this winch, we wanted to upgrade to some of the best winching gear you can get, and that's gonna come from Factor 55. And so we went with their 1.5-inch military spec hard anodized coated Hawse Fairlead, as well as the not just beautiful, but absolutely packed with features UltraHook. And there are so many features in this thing, we're actually gonna make a separate video about this Factory 55 gear, as well as our Superwinch, and we'll put a link to that video right here. Now, to complement our recovery gear, we also added the Worn Epic Shackles. Now, these cost just a little bit more than your average basic shackle, but they've got this really cool aggressive design, an 18,000 pound capacity per shackle, and the color just happens to perfectly match this Superwinch and the Fairlead, so it really ties the whole room together.
That rug really tied the room together, did it not?
And lastly, let's come back to the 3x3 lights that we chose here, which were the Baja Designs Squadron Sports. Now, these put off 3,150 lumens a piece for a total of 6,300 lumens. That's a lot of light from two little 3x3 cubes that cost well under $300. Now, we wired them in with Baja Designs upfitter harness, which wires in super easy into the OEM aux switches, and we'll show you how to do that in our installation guide video. We also opted for their amber lenses in their driving combo configuration, which means that half of the lens is spot to throw light further down the road, and the other half of the lens is a flood to help with diffusion of light to give you a nice spread. And those are gonna match our A-pillar and roof bar that are coming very, very soon. All right, so that's everything in our setup. We are super happy with how it performs and looks. If you'd like to buy any of these, check out all the links in the video description where you can check out all the latest pricing on Motoroso.com. You can also reach us on live chat there or call us toll free at 833-MOTOROSO. We'd love to help with your Bronco build or any other builds. Now, if you want to check out how to install all this, check out the installation guide video right here, or learn more about the winch and the recovery gear in the video below that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.